So you mentioned about moving to Canada, and then you mentioned about joining the Now Never crew. I actually had an opportunity to interview Bboy G for the first episode as well,
Oh,
and yeah, that was
you did.
excellent. A lot of good experience. He shared a lot in terms of how you did the choreography as a team together,
Mhm.
how we coordinate movements and everything. So you mentioned about the culture overall in Canada, like the dance culture overall, and the
Mhm.
crew. Team chemistry, I would assume, right? It's a bit more, joyful in that sense. Can you tell us a little bit more about how dancing is like then in Korea versus in Vancouver?
Um, so like just training
Yeah, let's start with the
wise.
training. Let's start with the training portion first. Like, do they focus more on your overall body fitness at the beginning first? Do you guys focus more on the dance itself? And do you guys focus
Mhm.
on just on the technical aspect of doing certain moves? Anything like
Mhm.
that?
Um, Definitely like Korea is a little bit more like serious, a little bit more serious. The training is a little bit more serious about like battle or showcase. Um, and then of course it's like there is a time we can be a little bit more serious about practice and battle whatever in Canada as well. Um, and then also like in Korea, I practice like 5 days a week, like 1 to 5, and you can't be late. You know what I mean? It's a very very strict. Just
Okay, so what happens when you're late? Do you have to do
if you are
push-ups, or do you
late,
have to do sit-ups, or you have to clean the whole entire
um,
studio, or
I think we did we pay kind of fine, kind of like $20, something like that.
$20 Canadian, or like $20 Canadian when you're in Korea when you're paying, like, or
I think $10 per minute, something like that.
that's like an expensive parking lot.
That yeah, at the time, yeah, and then
Right?
yeah, that was very very a lot. So it's nobody late, you know. Um, I think for Canada, when we do the show, like basically, for example, we have a show in like 1 p.m. So we're gonna meet there 12. If you are late, then we do a little bit of fine. But for the practice, we normally don't do it. And someone late, oh you late, um, a little bit more chill. Yeah. But Korea, oh you can't do that. You late, you not good. Yeah. You gotta pay for it.
It does sound very scary when you're late. Well, I guess it's
Yeah.
important to be punctual, but at the same time, it's just different types of environment overall.
Yeah.
And, yeah, and everything like that. So I was wondering then, okay, let's take a little bit more further into the technicality of you doing moves and movements. Okay, so when it comes to your dance in the beginning, like prior to that, before you think about doing a new move, do you usually break a specific move down into different parts and then practice those parts individually and then go into it? For example, I'm talking about, for example, like your power moves. Do you have to break them down into different steps first and doing it slowly before doing the whole entire thing?
Definitely, yes. For the like, if I wanna do, for example, like a power move. For the a power move, I need to like structure, kind of holding my body, and at the same time, because I normally power move is like you gotta do same time so many moves together, kind of everything kind of work together, right? So definitely you gotta practice separately, and then bring it together and then practice everything together, right?
Is there a specific element that you focus on your power move? Let's say when you're doing like your windmills or no hand windmills, for example, and when you're doing them, do you focus
Yeah.
like when as you're doing one move, do you focus more on maybe specific positions of your body, kind of like little checkpoints, 1, 2, 3, so you can go to your next move, which allows the transition to be easier?
Yeah, definitely, yes. Yeah, like just basically, if I want to practice something specific move, I do it and I film it. I think like filming is a very good way to practice, I guess, for the palm
Yes,
move, because
agreed.
I see how I do it and then what I miss. So I do it, I film it, watch it, and then I kind of see what I mistake, and then do that again and film it, kind of like step by step. So it's like kind of eventually wanna get want to get like almost how I want to kind of control the moves. Yeah.
That's excellent because you mentioned about the aspect of control. So would you like for people that's looking for like advanced movements overall? Because I think b-boying is like an advanced type of footwork and movements and other areas while doing it to the music. Would you recommend them to practice the steps like part by part first, very slowly, and then getting a good sense of motor control first before they attack the whole entire motion?
Yeah, that's a good question. Just when I teach the people, like can be kid or it can be adult, I teach like some basic moves. So it's kind of like stick to the basic moves, and at the same time I just give them freedom, so they can do whatever they want to do. So they don't stuck to the like one move. So breaking is kind of like you using your creativity and be freedom and having fun. So definitely like some in the class, some part we only do specific breaking move. I kind of teach, and after that you can do that, you can stick to the what I taught, or you can add something, you can do other direction using your creativity and then make another move. That's your character. So it's like kind of like I think sometimes like especially kid has so much like idea. Kid is very open, so people love the freedom sometimes, right? So you can do whatever you want to do, like not has to be this way, this move has to be this way, like rather than that sometimes like yeah you can do this, but you can like do your own way as long as it looks cool.
It's kind of like you can put your own style into your movements. Let's say the way how you kick your leg in other areas, and to connect the moves together, right?
Exactly. So there's not perfect answer. Yeah.
Okay. I was also wondering then, because you're talking about combining different moves together, so you have to shift your center of mass, you have to learn how to weight shift properly, you have to know how to transition from one move to the next. Like, is there like some area that you focus on when you are practicing those combined moves? Because it's a bit different to a static move to just one move, stopping, isometric, okay, static. And then, but when you do combined levels of moves, are there any elements that you think or more focus on when you're doing combined moves?
I guess we say transitions, right? So basically from the standing to the down, and then from the down to the upside, and then how you wanna get up. It's all kind of a transition is one of the very important for the breaking. So it's kind of like sometimes I explain like that way. Parkour, parkour is kind of like A to B. How cool you gonna go to the A to B, right? So it's like kind of like breaking is same too. Like how you gonna from the standing and how you gonna go down like coolest way and to the next. So it's like A, B, C, D, E, and you can finish. Like, yeah.
Do you sometimes think about like as you're doing the move, like do you think about as you're transitioning, do you think about the next move already in that case? Let's say when you're doing your windmills, like you think about the next set of movement in your mills, right? Is that what you would be thinking as well when you're doing when you're switching moves or doing the second mill?
Yeah, so I think like for the power move, I should depends on everyone. Everyone's a little bit different, but for me, for the big move, I don't have that much like room during the moves, so I set that up a little bit in advance. So for example, if I'm gonna do windmill to halo to the baby swipes, the windmill and halo freeze again. Like I practice this pattern, I practice a lot in the practice. So when I in the battle, when I in the competition, and I trying to using that, I'm gonna stick to that plan. But sometimes depends on the music, how music flow, I can switch a little bit, and in that moment, yeah.
Thank you. That was a really good breakdown of that area, and I think one of the very good ways for the audience to fully understand, how what locking is about or what breaking, how you put moves together, is to have you do some demonstrations for us. Would this be something that you can do for us today?
Oh yeah, definitely.
That is excellent. Oh, that was fantastic. That was fantastic. You can see you're moving your body in various different angles, and you're really perfecting yourself in those different angles as well. And you can change yourself from one plane of the motion to the other, and you're doing it in a very funky sense as well. So now, in order to make this easier for the audience to understand how you connect moves, okay, can you show us something a little bit simple so they can maybe learn as well? Like just something that how do you learn what you're doing right now? Something very simple.
Locking?
Yeah, locking wise.
Move
Yeah.
is very, very important. So it's like the music goes like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. So each count, your chest going to be up, which is we call up groove. You know that. So we're gonna go 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7, and 8. So from this groove, we're gonna put more layer, which is we're gonna do the point, and like muscle man, and lock, and then we're gonna go scuba, and a lot of stop. You moving, and stop, and moving, and stop. Stop. Okay, so this one will be fun. Okay, so let's go. The first one we're gonna do muscle man. Make sure you're gonna up, your hands up, kind of showing your muscles, and then back to your pocket, your hand, and then you're going to make a diamond, your hand, and one foot you're gonna bend, and the other foot going to be straight up. So this is like up and lock. Very, very important. I do this one a lot, so I'm going to do it one more time. So this is a muscle man, back to the pocket, and you're gonna lock, but very, very strong, okay? So here we go. So up and lock, and faster. Up and lock. So 1 and 2. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. There we go. That was a muscle man and lock. One of the important.
Thank you so much. That was fantastic. It's kind of like you're stopping at a specific angle, you're coming down, you're stopping it at the right time. So now I understand, the reason, we all understand now the importance of counting, right? Because you want to find the right beat to really hit. Okay, now moving on to your other major specialties, we're talking about breaking, right? So can you have you doing some demonstration for us for breaking as well? Or how you connect moves and breaking? Yeah?
So for the breaking, we normally start from the top, which is we call top rocking. So most important, most basic and important, this is we call Indian steps. And next to important thing is how we gonna get down. You get down, and then you do your style from here. And this is we call 6 step. And then like CC and kick out. Everyone knows the copy glider and freeze. So
that was really good. Wow, so smooth.
Oh my goodness. So basically, you start from the top. Not always. Just basically, you start from the top. How you gonna get down? And show some footwork. Show your styles. And then freeze. Yeah.
Are there any small power moves you can also show us as well with your control?
Yes, okay, I can do that. So I can go this time, no talking, I'm gonna just get down, all right? Here we go. ready.
Wow, that was fantastic. Wow. That was fantastic.
Because I was scared, like I kicked everything.
No problem. You've clearly demonstrated that. So let's say, for example, because you've done a lot of stuff for us just then. Let's say the portion in relation to the power move. Like, what would be the first thing they learn? Because you did like a couple of different things there, right? So what would be the first easy thing they learn first in your power move in the beginning?
Depends on the body shape. You know, some body shape. Just one second. Okay, it was too hot. So for the power move, depends on the body shape. Some people like feels easier for the others, you know. So, but I'm definitely like baby swipes is the one of the thing I teach first for the kid, and then windmill, and then flare is kind of going that way. Yeah.
Are there any like part moves that they can be starting with? Like, let's say, because you did a little, you did some mills in the beginning. What would be the first step that they learn for the mills?
Okay, so for the windmills, I can very briefly explain it. So first time you're gonna decide which side you're going to, but in the breaking, this is a right-handed. Your left elbow go to your belly button. That's the kind of right side, right-handed to me. And then first what you need is we call turtle freeze. You do your elbow goes down to your belly button and touch your head and lift your foot. Yeah, if you can do this motion, and then you're gonna go to your right leg going toward your head and let go. So this is the first thing what you need to practice. You just gotta lie down. When you lie down, you touch only the upper back, no lower back, because we don't wanna touch the hip on the ground. Only upper back first. So again, so from the turtle here and then touch the upper back. You lie down. Once you get that, and then you're gonna back to the turtle again. Then that's the one windmill right there. So from here, you go to the windmill and back to the turtle. And do that again. Yeah, so. Like,
would you recommend them to, let's say when they're transitioning the one mill to the next one, when you do every one of them, do you recommend them to also practice the baby freeze on the left side too? Let's say doing on the right, it's on the right.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's kind of like freeze to freeze, right?
Yeah, basically power move is related a lot of a freeze actually. So for example, if you want to do the 1990, definitely you want to be master about handstand, right? And for the windmill, of course you need to master over turtle freeze. And yeah, without turtle freeze, it's hard to start, right? Yeah, that's why sometimes it's hard to make a kid understand like, oh, I want to do windmill. Okay, then you got to do the turtle freeze first. And then
you never miss the basics of the foundations, right? To connect the moves together, the practice. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Hey, well, thank you very much today for your time and all your full demonstration. That was fantastic.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Yeah. All right. So I think that's all the time we have on the show today. And again, it's very lovely to have Bboy Thaiyo coming up to share his experience about, movements, about his journey in bodybuilding, breakdancing and locking, and, how he transitioned through life, just learning, new things all the time, trying new things, and also mastering his art. And all right. So thank you again for all of your time today and all the audience tuning in. And we look forward to seeing all of you again in our next podcast. Have a lovely day.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. 2021, I might try the bodybuilding again. So this is my bicep right here.
Here we go, biceps.
Everybody, Rich, appreciate it. Happy New Year. Happy holidays to you, everybody.
Happy New Year. Happy holidays, everybody. If you like our videos, please be sure to like and subscribe for more.